This is Rick and Morty Pocket Mortys. I normally never cover mobile games, but I saw this come out and I was like, hello. I mean, it's a cross between Rick and Morty, an amazing sci-fi comedy cartoon. If you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend it. It looks childish from the outside, but it is seriously very dark and employs a lot of sci-fi elements to it and tropes, and just it's just a fun experience. And you can see it all plays out in the game. It's all about there being multiple dimensions, and on Earth there's this scientist called Rick, and he, across all the universes, is still probably the smartest individual in the universe and has his own institute of Ricks, and they're sort of a multiversal governing body of any Rick practices across all the universes. But somehow a craze has caught on, and Mortys are the character in the show that has a stupid field that keeps everyone from discovering Rick's high brainwaves, and for some reason he's become like a collectible, like a Pokemon, and you go out and battle these little Mortys. But the thing I wanted to say mainly in this video is that this game isn't a joke. When I first saw it, what I expected to get was just a very shallow joke. But actually, among Pokemon rip-offs on the mobile, it's really not very bad. In fact, it's actually quite good, and if you're a fan of Rick and Morty, you'll just love all of the little bits they've put in. There's so many characters from the show in the game, you'll always be like, hee hee, I remember this character, yeah. And it completely captures the feeling of Rick and Morty, the bizarreness of some of the multiverses and some of the worlds that you go on and the life forms that are there. It also has a decent storyline. I mean, if anything, it might be worth playing this game as an episode of Rick and Morty if you feel like you're missing out. And really, I don't think I need to go over the actual gameplay mechanics, because it literally is like 6 gym battles on a Pokemon game, although each world is like a small map. And the mechanics almost work the same, apart from there isn't grass where the Pokemon, well, in this case, Mortys are. Pocket Mortys, I should say. But instead they're sort of wandering around, and you can tell which ones they are, and you still have to collect them by putting a microchip in their neck and basically controlling them via mind control. It's a bit more dark than Pokemon, I can say that at the very least. Anyway, this is just a silly video, but again, I would highly recommend watching Rick and Morty if you haven't already. It really isn't childish, it really isn't, well, it's silly, but in a good way, in a very good way. It's extremely dark. And hats off to Adult Swim with this game. It looks pretty good, it runs well, and it has a storyline, and most of all, it's not a joke. That's what I wanted to say. It's not just a very shallow joke. Anyway, what does everyone else think? Is anyone else playing this on? Put something in the comments below. Until next time, everybody, Joshino.